In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace front brake pads and front rotors on a Honda CR-V, which is located behind the front wheel. After you raised and supported your vehicle safely, you have 5 lug nuts. These are 19mm lug nuts. You need to remove those. Take your wheel off, put it off to the side. Here we are looking at the caliper from the back side. You have 2 14mm bolts that hold the caliper onto the caliper bracket. You need to remove those. After removing those, take a screwdriver in here and pull out towards you. And that will help loosen this caliper from the caliper bracket. Slide that off, put that off to the side. Now you have your 2 caliper bracket bolts. Those 2 bolts are 19mm. Remove those. Then slide your caliper bracket towards you. Going over to the front of the rotor, these 2 bolts were missing. They're actually Phillips screws. What those do is hold the rotor onto the hub. Obviously ours are missing, but you want to remove those 2 Phillips screws, and if your rotor doesn't come off easily, you can take 2 long bolts, screw it there, screw another one in here, and just tighten these bolts, and that will pull this rotor off of your hub. Now you can take your caliper, swing it over to here. You need to push your 2 pistons back into their holders. You can use a tool like this to do that, or you can take a big pair of pliers. I like to use this tool. Once your 2 pistons are pushed back into your caliper, just make sure your boots that are around those cups haven't folded over or are leaking. Put that off to the side. Here we have our brake caliper bracket that holds our brake pads. You want to slide these brake pads out like that. You can take these clips off by just using a screwdriver and popping straight out. You want to clean the surface here for your new clips. Take some high heat paste. Dab a little bit of paste underneath your clip. Take your new clip, push it straight down. Make sure it locks in. Now do the same for the other side. Once you have your 2 clips seated, you can take out your slider pins. One of them is going to have this rubber O-ring. Do not spray anything on that O-ring. Just make sure you don't have any rust. If you do have rust, you can clean it. A little bit of paste. Put it off to the side. Take your boot out just by pulling straight out. Make sure there's no debris inside your boot. This one does not. You can take a cleaner tool like this. Bit of spray, clean it again. Give it a quick wipe. Same thing with your boot. Install your boot. Make sure it's nice and seated and flat. Take your pin, slide it in, make sure it moves freely in and out of the caliper bracket, and do the same with the other one. After removing this pin does not have a rubber O-ring, so you can clean this. Make sure there's no rust rings. This one does not. Now that we have our caliper bracket slides and clips in, it's time to put the brake pads in. Your brake pad indicator always goes into the back side. You can just push down, put it in your clip, push down and slide in, push down, slide in. Take your outer brake pad, slide it into your clips. Now it's time to prep your brake rotor. You want to get all your oil or anything that's on the surfaces, front and rear, off. You can use a little bit of brake cleaner. Flip it over, same thing on the other side. Now let's install it on the vehicle. Before you install your rotor onto your hub, you want to clean the surface. That way the rotor will sit flush. After you wire brushed your area, you can put a little bit of anti-seize. On your hub. Here's a tech tip for you. Since we don't have the two bolts that hold the rotor to the hub, you can slide your hub on, and so it doesn't move on you when you're putting your bracket on. You can just use a lug nut. Tighten it till it hits the rotor, and now it's nice and straight to put your bracket on. Now you can take your caliper bracket with your brake pads, slide it over your rotor, put your two 19mm bolts on, tighten those two. Both of those bolts get torqued to 101 foot-pounds. Now it's time to install the clips before you install your caliper onto your bracket. Slide those two clips into the two holes of the brake pad. Take your caliper, slide it over top. Install your two caliper bolts, which are 14mm. And those two bolts are torqued at 37 foot-pounds. Now remove your lug nut. Put your wheel on, torque your wheel down, hop in that driver's seat, pump your brake up till it gets hard, take it for a road test, listen to make sure there's no funny noises. Take your wheel, slide it over your lug nut studs, install your lug nuts by hand. Give those a snug. After you load your vehicle and your tire is on the ground, you want to torque these lug nuts at 80 foot-pounds. You want to do that in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.